What's going on, guys? This is Samurai Big Pie, and welcome to a tutorial on the modular force field system. So let's just jump right in real quick. Now, the first thing you're going to need to start making some force field energy is the MFFS extractor. Now, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to need forcium to make this run at all. Forcium can be found by macerating monazite ore for 8 forcium or cooking it in any other furnace except for a pulverizer, and it will give you 4. So basically, if you pulverize it, macerate it, and then all those sorts of things that break them down into dust will give you 8. Cooking it will only give you 4. So it's much more efficient to use a pulverizer. Now, the next thing you're going to need is you're going to need an energy source. Now, for the sake of this, I have geothermals all hooked up to this to make it go quickly. This is a progress bar. When this reaches 100, you'll generate 12k Fe, and it'll start absorbing up in here. They can be activated by redstone, or they can be activated by the multi-tool, which we'll get to once I start charging that. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn it on, and the lights on it change, and it'll start generating it, and it'll get 12 every tick. Now, because there's so many of these, it just instantly is done, but some things do take a while. Now, each on the front, it'll go ahead and tell you what the work cycles left are is the real important one. This is the progress of this bar down here, which will always be 100% for this as long as there's power. The work cycle left is at 226. 1 forcium gives you 230, I believe. And this is the progress right here, you can see, but it's more detailed right here. The Fe cap is at 42%, which is this whole deal, and once it's capped, it'll stop producing, and it'll stop using energy and all that stuff. So, that's how you're going to start generating power. The next thing you're going to need is kind of like the control circuit for all this. Now, this right here is the MFFS capacitor. Now, same as this, it can be triggered by redstone, or it can be used by the switch. But, for the sake of this, we're going to use redstone. Now, the first thing you're going to need to do before you can start loading energy from there into here is you're going to need an MFFS card, which is just simply an electronic circuit surrounded by paper. So you're going to go ahead and take one of these and right-click, and you're going to get a power card. Now, if you take the power card link and you put it into that, all the power, you'll notice, is not going in here, and there's a card in here. All the power is going to come in here instead, which you can see right here. It's already got some in here, and if I go ahead and take that out, it'll start going in here, and this will stop going up. Now, to go ahead and make a projector, which is the giant force field you'll visibly see, you're going to go ahead and come in here, and you're going to need a projector module. Now, I like to use a cube, so I'm going to go ahead and do that, and that's the first thing you're going to need to put in. You cannot click on anything else almost until you put this in, and it's going to unlock this slot here. Now, what you can do with that slot is you can put in your projector field modular distance things, which is going to make it bigger. If you only have like none or 1 or 2, it's going to be an extremely wimpy force field. Now, again, to get the power into here from here to here, you're going to need another power link card. You can take that and plunk it in here, and now it has power. And if I turn it on with just a couple, it'll be a relatively small force field. Now, if I turn it off and I go ahead and put in 32. It's a pretty decent sized force field that you could probably use for a base. I would be able to use this. It'd be tight, but I'd be able to use this. I would prefer something bigger, however, that just would lag, and it does take a little bit to load. But anyways, I'll turn that off for now. So if you want to add some extra security, what you can do is you can make the defense station. Now, the defense station has to come with the security station. So why don't we go to the security station first. Now, what you're going to need is you're going to need a blank MFFS card again, and you're going to need another one after that. So what you're going to need to do first is you're going to have your multi-tool, and you're going to need to have it to this personal ID and data link coder, and you right-click it, and it's going to tell you don't have enough charge unless you actually have charge. Now, to charge any of these things, including these crystals, or uncharge them, you simply put them in the capacitor, and if it goes to the green force crystal, then it'll charge it. If it goes to red, it'll uncharge it. So you can use that to charge up crystals and move them into here if you steal someone's stuff. For now, we're just going to do that. Use one of them, and you're going to get a personal ID card for yourself. Now, what you do then is you go to rights allocation, and you're going to give yourself all the rights you need, which you're going to pretty much need them all. And then once you're done with this, you're going to put it in here. And now, no one but you can open this this thing anymore, and now this is turned on. Now if you do want to add a friend, you give them your personal ID and data card link, or they can use their own. They can use an MFS card again, make their own thing, and then you take their card, you put it in here, you add them what rights you want, and then you're going to put it in here. And then they'll be able to access it if you gave them that permission, and they won't die if you gave them that permission, and so on and so forth. Now, once that's turned on, you can go ahead and make a security link. So you right click that, and you're going to get a security station link card, and you're going to put it in here. Now that that has this, it is going to actually be able to turn on and tell who to kill and who to not. So you can have it inform them or kill them. Now this whole warning and action dealy-bob is very important, because what that's going to do is it's going to tell you when it's going to warn them. So right now, with no projector distant things, projector field modular distance things, it's just going to warn people 3 blocks away that this doesn't, or this will. Okay, there's a couple things you can do actually. It will inform them. As of right now, it'll warn them, which is this thing. It'll tell them that you're entering my force field, you don't have permissions, or something like that. And then that it won't do anything when you get to 0 blocks, because you don't have any here. Now if you put one in here, it'll increase the warning to 4, and this will stay here. But now if you put them in the action, it'll automatically bump this up. So if you just go ahead and put them all in here, this is the most you can make it go. So you can have 67 blocks away, it'll warn them. If they come 64 blocks away, it will inform them, and it'll spam their screen with whatever else. Or you can put it to kill, and it will kill their stuff and gather their items and put them in this slot here. Now you cannot shift click items out of here or put items in unless you're banning stuff. So it's very helpful to have a chest next to it, because it will drop stuff into adjacent inventories. And the reason I do not have this next to it is because if you put this next to it, it will drop items. If this gets full, it will drop items into all these slots, and it gets really annoying to not be able to shift click, and it's vanilla Minecraft all over again. So it will drop stuff in adjacent inventories. That includes capacitors or extractors. If there's nothing in here or here or here, it'll drop stuff in there. Same with this. It'll just drop it in whatever slots it possibly can. And stuff will get lost if there are no slots left. I've done it in multiplayer. Now, again, to just make that work, you just need redstone, and you're going to need power. So you can just drop a crystal straight in there to turn it on, and you can turn it on and it's going to work. Or, again, you can take another card, go back to your capacitor. Oop. Sorry about that. You go back to your capacitor, and you drop that in here, and you'll have the power of whatever's in here. And that'll keep going up, and you can turn this on, and it'll go. 2 high voltage solar arrays gets it going almost infinitely. That's what I run, and it survives with an MFFS. It'll persist through night. That's what I use on the multiplayer server I play on. So I have it so it'll kill people, and I have a couple chests in case people ever come near my base, which so far no one has. So just real quickly, that's the modular force field system, the basics at least. And so again, you can edit different rights in here. You can actually have this thing where it'll search people. Alright, let me turn it off here. Get that rain turned off because it's annoying. You can actually have this where it searches people, and it will take their items. So if you want to ban the Vajra, then if someone comes in the area with the Vajra on and they don't have the keep all items, it's the second to the bottom, allow have all items. If they don't have that card in here, so if anyone else were to come into the server, it would take their Vajra and put it in here. So it's pretty cool, and that's just a really nifty thing. Now, force fields, keep in mind, are not completely invulnerable. Now, there are some things that people can do to glitch into them, which I'm going to go ahead and real quickly show you. Not just show you how to glitch into people's bases, but because it's what happens, unfortunately, and I want to show you that you are not invincible. So if you do have a force field system, and I can't get in here, if you do touch it and you're in survival, if you touch it, it will hurt you automatically. And because I'm in the defense station, it's not going to kill me. But it does instantaneously kill people. I've tested it out. So it will hit you. Now what you can do, however, is you can use the blink drive from the power suit, can glitch through walls, and as well as this. And all you have to do, if you spam ender pearls, it's not going to work. I've tried it before. You'll kill yourself before you can get any progress. Now, what you can do is you can use the cloak of distortion, however, and do that. And if you're in a good enough armor to not take damage from all this spam right here, well, you won't die. But It's real simple just to glitch through like that. And if you're on top, I don't know if it works. I don't think it works on top, but the point is, it is possible to glitch through. So what I would suggest is you have a little setup like this. Now, if you look in here, I have a personal safe in here, and it's simply a 3x3 with a safe in it. And now, you don't really need the corners, but I just like it for aesthetic purposes. But if you try and glitch into this, you can't glitch into it because it's just a solid mass. Like, I suppose eventually you could, but even if you get in, like, you glitch through it, you're not going to be able to get to the personal safe. So you can keep your items in here, and when you're ready, you can come around with your little whatever wand you want, and you can just right-click it. Only you can do that. Grab your stuff, and it's probably easy to get it from the top, so you don't have to move it all the time. So it's pretty simple, and only you can get into this. Now, what you can do with the Vajra is you can right-click, which will constantly spam to get it open. But even then, you have to left-click the safe, which I actually just... Oh, hang on. If I was out of creative, it wouldn't have done that. 1 second. So if I get another safe, I can go ahead and show you. I was testing with this earlier. If you do actually have that, and then you go into survival. So unless an admin raids you, then you're screwed. But if an admin raids you, you probably shouldn't be playing on that server if you don't know them. So even if you do this, you can't just reach in and you have to left-click a safe to break a safe. And I have not been able to, and I've been at this for a while, been able to actually like right-click it and then left-click it because the warded stone closes up pretty well. You can always, if you don't feel comfortable with that, or you don't believe my word, you can just make it like a 5x5, which is even bigger, and then people will have, well, no, because then people will be able to glitch into it. So that, yeah, pretty much the way I have it set. Well, actually, no, you can make it a 5x5, and then you just fill it in. Now, if you use an arcane door, however, that's not a good thing, because you can actually glitch into that spot. So if there's a door, an arcane door, right here, I would still, and like all this back here was full of warded stone, I would still be able to glitch into that small of a spot, and then from there I could get into the stuff. It's kind of hard to do it, but I've done it before. But anyways, the point is you can pretty much get into that, and the most likely way to get defended is this whole setup here. I'll catch you guys next time.